Welcome back to Indiana Newsdesk. A coronavirus outbreak at the Tyson meatpacking plant in Logansport has turned Cass County into the state's third biggest coronavirus hotspot behind Marion and Lake counties. But Cass is rural, and as Mitch Legan reports, it only has one hospital to handle the surge in cases.
Logansport's a city known for its early 1900s Denzel carousel, one of 3 in the country designated National Historic Landmarks.
The Cass County Denzel Carousel is having a Carousel Fun Day Saturday, August 26th at Riverside Park in Logansport, Indiana. This unique event with free admission will start at 8 a.m. with a 5K run. Performers, attractions.
Now, with the coronavirus pandemic in full effect, it's off limits, and Logansport is in the national news, but not because of the vintage carousel. On Monday, Cass County officials announced an order tightening distancing restrictions on businesses after the county reported more than 700 new cases of COVID-19 over the weekend. That gives the largely rural county the 3rd highest number of cases in the state.
The magnitude of our current situation is extremely serious at this point, and we as a community must take action. This is not a time to place blame or point fingers. We need to come together as a community and do everything we can to slow the spread of this virus.
Last week, Tyson Foods temporarily shut down its Logansport meatpacking plant after more than 140 employees there tested positive for COVID-19. The rest of the 2,200 total employees are being tested and awaiting results. With more than 1,000 cases diagnosed in Cass County and more to come, all staff at the county's only hospital can do is wait. Logansport Memorial officials have been preparing for weeks for a surge like this one, but the large bump in confirmed cases could still end up overwhelming the hospital.
With this surge in positive cases and the numbers that we are seeing, if we just saw 5 to 10% of those positive cases needing critical care, we would be overwhelmed. Our hospital is not equipped with enough staff or resources to care for numbers like this.
Logansport Memorial participated in a study last month that estimated when different counties might hit their coronavirus peaks.
And our peak at that point was looking about May 3rd. So at that point, we were thinking, well, we're doing pretty good because I don't think we're ever going to reach our peak. Now it seems like we're actually going to pretty much hit that number. If I had to guess, I would say that the beginning of next week is when we would hit our peak.
Logansport Memorial Hospital has 83 total beds. The COVID-19 unit has 9 rooms, all of which are currently in use, with a capacity of 13 beds. It also has another intensive care unit with 6 beds that could be used for COVID patients, bringing the total available beds to 19. Gay says other floors can be turned into coronavirus units as a last resort, and the hospital has around a dozen ventilators.
Now, when I say around, you would think that we would have a definitive number, but there are some other ways that we can utilize maybe anesthesia machines to serve as vents should we get into a critical point. But we have right now standard ventilators, 8. And then we can go up to 12 with the repurposing of anesthesia machines.
If the caseload becomes too much, patients could end up getting sent to hospitals in surrounding counties, including ones in Lafayette, Kokomo, and Indianapolis.
Looking at, would you be able to accept our patients should we get overrun with the very critically ill? That way we can kind of keep the mid-level coronavirus, people who do need hospitalization, but the ones who really need more critical care, start transferring those people.
Gay's been in touch with state officials, including Health Commissioner Dr. Chris Box. He says the state has been helpful, sending personal protective equipment like N95 masks and hospital gowns. But staffing could be an issue.
Right now, we're at a deeper place in this crisis than we ever thought we would be. Now it's looking like we could even get into a deeper hole. So we want to make sure that we are prepared for the influx of patients that hopefully won't come.
Logansport Memorial Hospital remains open for non-COVID-19 cases. For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Mitch Legan.
Well, as of Friday, Cass County reported 1,214 confirmed cases of COVID-19, with many tied to the Tyson plant. President Trump still wants all meatpacking plants, including the one in Logansport, to stay open and declare them critical infrastructure. Mitch Legan has been following this and joins us now from the newsroom. Mitch, what can you tell us about the number of cases in Cass County?
Yeah, Joe. So I actually got off the phone with Carmen Jones. She's the press person over at Logansport Memorial Hospital. And she says of those 1,200 cases or so, over 1,000 can be tied to that Tyson plant, which employs around 2,200 people.
Can you tell us a little bit about the relationship between the community and that plant?
Yeah, of course. Well, as I said, 2,200 or so people working at that plant. It's the largest employer in Logansport. And when it was operating, it produced around 3 million pounds of pork daily. So when I was up there this week, I saw a bunch of signs in yards, signs saying, I'm a proud team member of Tyson. My work here helps feed the nation. Obviously, people aren't working right now, but it shows you how it's such a big part of both Logansport and Cass County. And, they're kind of dealing with the health effects and economic effects, much like a bunch of other places in the nation right now.
What are people saying about reopening the plant? Because, of course, they want to work, but on the same token, they must be scared about going back to the plant.
Right. Well, and as you said, President Trump wants these plants open. So does Governor Holcomb. He made an announcement earlier this week, kind of backing the president up on that. They're concerned about the nation's meat supply, obviously. That plant produces over 3 million pounds of pork daily. That's gone if it's not operating, so people can't eat. Agriculture Secretary Sonny Perdue, he said yesterday that he expected meatpacking plants to open up in days, not weeks. And so that puts these workers in a tough situation. They need to make money, as you just said, but the plant has obviously exploded as kind of this epicenter for the county. The unions have obviously said this is a bad idea. People can't be working in these positions. It's unsafe, and the data proves it. I should mention this isn't the only plant in Indiana even that's had something like this happen. The Indiana Packers Corporation, earlier this week, they shut down their Delphi facility after workers there tested positive for coronavirus. And in Waterloo, Iowa, the Tyson plant there is responsible for over 90% of cases, just showing you that these tight meatpacking places kind of are hotspots for this virus, Joe.
All right, Mitch, thank you very much.
Thank you.